Hello everyone, welcome back to one more video session. Here I'm going to explain the last concept of the chapter, that is DNA fingerprinting. It is also called as DNA profiling or DNA typing. If you just check the previous year question papers, obviously you see this question particularly explain the principles or maybe the steps of DNA fingerprinting. There are only 7 steps. It's very easy to write, okay, because you can mug up the 7 steps and you can write it. But my concern is for competitive examination, obviously, like I'm going to explain in detail, like everything related to DNA fingerprinting. What is exactly DNA fingerprinting? How exactly it is done? Okay, and for what purpose DNA fingerprinting is employed? The thing is, in 1984, a scientist called as the Alec Jeffrey. Right, let me just write Alec Jeffries. Alec Jeffries in 1984. Okay, he actually identified that in human genome some sequences will be there that varies. Okay, I think you know that in human genome project, like when I was explaining the silent features, 99.9% of the sequences are exactly same in all the human beings, but there is a slight variation. That slight variation is 0.1 percentage. So here the main basis for DNA fingerprinting is that 0.1 percentage variation. Got it? So using that technique, he developed DNA fingerprinting to identify the individuals. Okay, normally it is really helpful in like identifying a criminal. Okay, or it could be like identifying a dead body, or maybe to solve the maternal or paternal disputes. Okay, because there are two individuals in that. One individual says that that person is my son, and other individual also argues that that individual or child is my son, like that. So to solve the disputes like maternal or paternal disputes, DNA fingerprinting is really useful. Not only that, even DNA fingerprinting is used in counting the number of species. Let us say tiger, for example, like to count how many tigers are there in a particular geographical area. So DNA fingerprinting is also helpful. Very simple. They need to collect the fecal matter of the tiger, then actually they take it to the lab and they just extract the DNA, because obviously the fecal matter contains the DNA, that is cells will be there, and DNA will be removed out, and then they identify the sequence, and then actually they match with the sequence which is also extracted from the fecal matter. Okay, so like that. So based on the matching, obviously they say like, okay, this tiger is entirely different, this tiger is different, this tiger is different, like that. Okay, so that is actually the thing. Even the same applicable to human beings, the identification of human beings. Okay, so DNA fingerprinting is a very helpful tool nowadays. Okay, now what is the main basis? Okay, I forgot to tell you the definition of DNA fingerprinting. It is nothing but okay, let me, instead of writing, let me tell you, it is a technique of identification. Okay, identification and evaluation of genetic information of a person. Can you write it? Okay, identification, it is a technique of identification and evaluation of the genetic information of a person. That this is called as DNA fingerprinting, or it is also called as DNA profiling or DNA typing. Okay, now let me tell you some important things here. First we will start with a basic thing. Let us say this is my chromosome number 1. So I have taken one chromosome, particularly chromosome number 1, the first chromosome of me, that is in my cell, and let me write my name here. This is taken from my cell. Okay, so this is chromosome number 1. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take compare, because I need to compare, otherwise it's very difficult to understand. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I use a different color here. Okay, yellow color is better, and I'm going to draw one more chromosome, that is also chromosome number 1, but this chromosome number 1 is taken from another individual. Okay, so let us compare this example, or take consider Srishant. Okay, so this is now Srishant chromosome number 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one more chromosome, so it will be easy for us to understand now. Okay, so the size should be same. Okay, so this is now chromosome number 1 of let us say Sakshat. Okay, so Sakshat. So we have three chromosomes but three different individuals. Yes, all the chromosomes are same. Chromosome number 1. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to unwind this chromosome. If I unwind it, obviously what I'm going to get is a long thread. Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have used white color for my chromosome number 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw the DNA, because if I unwind this chromosome, I'm going to get the DNA itself. Okay, so let me just draw the DNA. Yes, this is now DNA. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwind the Srishant's chromosome number 1, similar to the same method. What I'm going to do is, okay, we'll just draw it. If I unwind it, obviously I'm going to get a long DNA. Yes. Is this a genome now? No, we cannot call this as a genome, because genome means if we unwind all the chromosomes like 46 chromosomes, so you are going to get a 2-meter stretch DNA. That is genome. Okay, so this is chromosome 1 of Srishant DNA of Srishant chromosome, and now I have to use the pink color here. Okay, so again I'll go slow and it takes time. Okay, so this is now Sakshat chromosome number 1, the DNA of Sakshat. Now what I'm going to do is, let me just write the nitrogenous bases or the sequence. Okay, let me just start with A, T, C, A. Okay, like this. And now in Srishant chromosome number 1, the DNA, let me just write the first 4 nitrogenous bases or sequences. You have to use yellow color. A, T, C, A. What is the difference? No differences. Okay, now Sakshat. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, T, C, A. Now these sequences are exactly same. There is no differences. Okay. Now from here onwards, okay, let me just write G, A, T, A, G, A, T, A. Let me continue. G, A, T, A. Okay. Again, let me write 4 nucleotides. G, A, T, A. Again, G, A, T, A. Again, G, A, T, A. Okay. It is understood that ATCA is common now. Let us see what's going to be the sequence in Srishant or Sakshat DNA of chromosome number 1. And here I'm just going to write the same GATA, and here let me write ATA, and let me just write one more G. Okay, fine. Now see here, from here you just have to ignore this. Now from here onwards, GATA, even though these nucleotides are entirely different, GATA, that means 4 nucleotides, GATA is repeated again, GATA. Again from here, GATA, that means the 3rd time, the repetition is same. Again the 4th time, GATA. Again 5th time, GATA. Again 6th time, GATA. That means it is understood that GATA is repeated how many times? In my chromosome number 1, 6 times. GATA, 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 GATA. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have got 6 repeated sequence of GATA nitrogenous base. Yes. Okay. Let us now take Srishant's GATA, same, exactly same. Okay. GATA, again it is repeated. GATA, again it is repeated for the 3rd time. Again. GATA, 4 times. This one comes here. Yes. 6 GATA repeats, I have got ATAAG. In this case, GATA, how many times it is repeated in Shishan's case? 12, 16, 4 times. Okay, 4 GATAs are there, and after the completion of 4 repeats of GATA, you see the same sequence. Got it? Okay, then the sequence continues. Okay, let me just show, for example, in this case, if I just, instead of writing A, if I write T, then what is this? This is now nothing but, it is called as SNP, single nucleotide polymorphism. I got it? Single nucleotide polymorphism. This is the thing. Okay, that means one nucleotide is now replaced in the case of Shishan, that is single nucleotide polymorphism. It is a very good biological marker, so that it is very easy for the scientist to identify who is Arun and who is Shishan. Okay, that is based, it is not DNA fingerprinting. Okay, let me just continue in the case of Sakshat. So I have used, so it obviously it's going to take time. GATA. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, let me write ATAAG. That's it. Okay. In this case, let me just simply let me write C. That means SNP. Okay. Now the interesting thing is, see how many times GATA is repeated in Sakshat case, that is in the chromosome number 1, 2 times. So he has got 2 GATA repeats. Shishan got 4 GATA repeats. I got maximum 6 GATA repeats. That means it is showing variation. Okay. It is also called as polymorphism. What is this polymorphism? Polymorphism is a result of mutation. Okay, it is mainly due to mutation. Mutation means not a sudden mutation, not exactly happening in my body now or in my lifetime. It is like it took a lot of years, evolution. During the course of evolution, somewhere else, the mutation has taken place, and that's what makes us different individuals, but belongs to the same species. Why we are same species? The thing is, in this segment, if I draw the complete DNA of the chromosome number 1, you see a lot of sequences. But you know that if you take the sequences, there are 2 types of sequences in the same chromosome or in human genome. What is that? That is, one sequence is called as the coding sequence. Coding region. I think I will better use not sequence, coding sequence or coding regions. The coding regions are nothing but genes. They are useful. They are going to produce the proteins. Yes. Okay, there are some non-coding regions in the same chromosome or in the entire human genome. Yes, non-coding. That is not genes. They actually play an important role in providing that kind of structure. That is, they play an important role in the dynamics of the chromosomes. Okay, so non-coding regions. That is not going to produce any proteins, but still they make the bulk DNA, because if you see the entire human genome, 90% of the sequences are nothing but non-coding regions. They are not going to code for any proteins. They are not genes. They are bulk DNA. They make the 90% of the DNA, whereas the remaining 10% is nothing but the genes. Are you getting my point? There are some useful things. Okay. Now, the main important thing for the DNA fingerprinting is the bulk DNA. That means GATA is nothing but bulk DNA. It is nothing but non-coding region of the DNA. Got it? So this is very important. So this GATA, that means, let me just write, if anybody contains the repeats that is rich in guanine or rich in adenine, or it could be thymine, or it could be cytosine. Normally we say AT rich regions or GC rich regions. In this case, you see G is more, G is seen in all the repeats, A is also seen in all the repeats, another A is also seen in all the repeats, T is also seen, but G is missing, but it's fine, but I have taken one example here. Got it? So it could be AT or it could be GC. The sequence contains AT rich regions or it could be GC rich regions. The number of nucleotides in these repeats. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now what I am going to do is, let me just erase this. Okay. Now, let me just write a word, very important, that is satellite DNA. So, what is this satellite DNA? I have already explained it. GATA, which is now repeated. In my case, I think 6 times. In Srishant's case, I think 4 times. In Sakshat's case, I think 2 times. GATA repeats are there. Satellite DNA mainly, it could be 80 rich sequences will be there, like 80, or maybe like GC rich sequences, GC, like that, or it could be like everything. 80 GC, or it could be like that, the possibilities, the probabilities. It normally varies, like GATA, okay, which also contains 3 out of 4 nitrogen nucleotides. Yes, okay. Satellite DNA is nothing but the component of the bulk DNA. The bulk DNA is like if you take the human genome. There will be certain sequences where it is called as genes, which now codes for a protein, but there are sequences which are now useless, but still they play an important role in the structure and dynamics of the chromosome. Yes, okay, so that is actually nothing but the bulk DNA, the bulk DNA. Got it? That in the bulk DNA you see some repeats will be there, that is GATA repeats will be there. That is called as satellite DNA. What is satellite DNA? It is nothing but contains repeats of sequences or repeated sequences in a DNA segment. That is actually called as satellite DNA. Got it? Okay, GATA is a good example for satellite DNA. I have got 6 GATAs, that is satellite DNA. Srishant 4 GATAs, that is satellite DNA in Srishant case. Okay, in satellite DNA there are 2 types. Okay, let me use the yellow color. The first one is, we'll go with the mini satellite. The first one is the mini satellite. The second one is the micro satellite. Mini satellite and micro satellite. This mini satellite is also called as VNTR. What is this VNTR? Variable number random repeats. Okay, I'll tell you what is it. Variable number random repeats. Very important for your need. What is VNTR? Microsatellite. It has got one more name, that is SSR. What is this SSR? Single sequence repeats. Okay. Even actually instead of writing single, even if I write simple, that is also correct. Single or simple sequence repeats. That is nothing but the microsatellite. So what is this? We understood what is satellites. Okay, satellite means, like, see, this is now DNA, and let us say, okay, so this is now, let me just consider only one strand of the DNA, that is enough. So GA is here. Now let me write AG, and here I am going to write CA, next CA, next CA, next CA. That means repeats of CA, not GAAG. Yes, it is only CA, 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 CA. It is repeated. How many times in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How many CAs are there? 4 CAs are there. This is satellite DNA. Got it? Okay. But the CA number varies from person to person. That's what I have explained in GATA example. Okay. Now, here again, what is the total number of these repeats are present in the satellite DNA? Based on that, we can classify the satellite DNA into 2 types: mini satellite, micro satellite. What is this mini satellite? Okay. Let me just write. For example, AGCA. Okay. So this is now sequence. Now what I'm going to do is, let me just write GATA. Now I'm just upgrading it. ATAG. Okay. Next again ATAG. So that means it is a repeat. See, ATAG. Even though containing different nucleotides. Fine. So this is now one sequence. How many nucleotides are there? 8 nucleotides are there. If you count it, 8 are there. Again, ATAG is repeated. That also contains 8 nucleotides. It is not like restricted that 8 nucleotides should be there. It could be 20. That means actually it varies from 1 to 20 base pairs or nucleotides. You got it? So even actually I can stretch it. Again, if I write GATA, that means this 8 nucleotide sequence is repeated thrice in one DNA case, in one particular chromosome. Okay. That means it is containing how many nucleotides? 8 nucleotides. But it may vary if it is a long stretch. This is long stretch, not a small stretch. For example, if you take this CA is not a like long not containing maximum number of nucleotides. The repeat is not containing maximum. Only how many? Two nucleotides are there. That is C and A. These 2 nucleotide repeats. How many times it is repeated? 4 times in this case. In this case, it is how many nucleotides are there? 8 nucleotides. That is repeated thrice. Got it? Okay. So that particular thing is nothing but called as the mini satellite. What is mini satellite? If the repeats, that is nothing but the satellite DNA is having the repeated sequences which contains 1 to 20 base pair. Okay, maximum 20. That means it is a bit longer compared to this. Correct? Okay. So that is called as mini satellite. Okay, it is called as mini satellite. It is also called as variable number tandem repeats. Why it is called as variable number tandem repeats? It varies from person to person. For example, I have got this sequence in my chromosome number 2. Okay, so let me just write, this is my chromosome number 2. I have got this sequence. GATA, ATAG sequence is there. In somebody's case, for example, in Sakshat's case, that is in the chromosome number 2, the GATA, ATAG, that is 8 nucleotide repeat could be 5. That repeated 5 times, so that it is called as variable number tandem repeats. Why it is exhibiting polymorphism? So it is understood that it is a type of polymorphism. That means the repeat varies from individuals to individual. This is one thing. Got it? Okay. So that is polymorphism, which is nothing but variable number tandem repeats. It varies from person to person, individual to individual. Okay, so mini satellite is done. What is this micro satellite? Micro means, okay, let me just draw one more DNA. DNA. Let me just write AG, something is there. And here, let me just write, we have got GC, like this. That means actually GC is repeated how many times? 5 times. So, but this contains only 2 nucleotides. The repeat is nothing but 2 nucleotides. Repeated G and C, valine and cytosine. Repeated how many times? 5 times. So here 2 nucleotides are there. Compared to 20 nucleotides, 2 nucleotides are smaller. So that is microsatellite. Got it? So microsatellite maximum contains 2 to 4 base pair repeats. So that means I can take GC also. Even the repeat could be GATA also. In GATA, how many nucleotides are there? 4 nucleotides are there, or 4 bases are there. So that's it. So if anything, like if repeat is seen which contains only 4 nucleotides or maybe 2 nucleotides, then it is microsatellite, which is also called as SSR, single sequence repeats, like that. Got it? So this is the thing. That is the difference between mini satellite and microsatellite. These 2 satellites are seen in all the individuals. This is very important. Okay. For example, if I take chromosome, okay, chromosome number 1 again in my body. In my case, not body. Okay. Let us say like, okay, let me just unwind it and you are going to get a long stretch of the DNA here. Let me just write here GC is there, some other sequence, and here let us say CA is there, which is now repeated. How many times? 2 times. So CA, which type of satellite it is? Microsatellite, because it contains 2 base pairs. Now, okay, so let me just ignore some sequences. Okay, we will continue this. This is now DNA, single DNA. And let us say like you see GATAAT, and which is now repeated again. Not T. Let me continue the sequence. Okay. So TTA like that. For example, let me consider how many nitrogenous bases are there. GAT 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 nucleotides. Again the same is repeated from here onwards. Again it is repeated like that. So let us say like 3 repeats are there. But each repeat is containing 9 nucleotides. Are you getting my point? 9 nucleotides. So I cannot put this in microsatellite. section. I have to put them in mini satellite section, that is nothing but variable number tandem repeats that normally contains 1 to 20 base pairs. Okay, so out of two satellite which is useful in DNA fingerprinting, this one, the microsatellite or single sequence repeats are useful in DNA fingerprinting. Okay, please note this fingerprinting. Okay. Now hope you understood the difference between micro and the mini satellite. Okay, microsatellite is nothing but SSR which is used in DNA fingerprinting, whereas the microsatellite, the mini satellite or the VNTR, that is not used in DNA fingerprinting. What is the reason behind it? The reason is very simple. For example, so this is my DNA. Let me just write one stretch. Repeat: GATA, GGCA. Okay, how many nucleotides are there here? I think 12 nucleotides. Okay, so now I am going to repeat the same here: GATA, AG, okay, that means this is repeated twice, or it could be thrice, it could be like 4, 5, 6 repeats could be there, and total number of nucleotides will be, the repeat contains, each sequence contains 12 nucleotides, so it's very long. It's not easy for to develop a band in the agarose gel electrophoresis. You may not understand what is it. Okay, so because the length is very long, that's the reason why they prefer the sequences or the repeats, that is microsatellites. For example, let me just write GATA. How many base pairs are there? 4 here. Again GATA is repeated twice. Again GATA is now repeated thrice. So they prefer this microsatellite. It's very easy. It's very easy to put them in the agarose gel electrophoresis and easy to get the bands. You may not understand what all these things, now you will understand. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to draw the chromosomes. Okay, let me just draw the chromosome now. Let us imagine this is now chromosome number 7. So chromosome number 7. Okay. Before that, let me tell you how. Let us say I am the criminal and I have killed a person, and after the crime and everything I escaped from the spot. The forensic people, the policeman and the scientist, they visit and they collect the samples, whatever they get in the crime spot. For example, during the process, during the crime, actually, during the fight, maybe 1 or 2 drops of blood were actually dropped on the floor. My blood, okay, dropped on the floor, and okay, so they collected my blood. Okay, so let me just write in the crime spot. They collected my blood. Let me write my name here. Okay, they collected my blood, and now. Okay, after a few days, obviously investigation will be proceeded, and finally, let us say they will identify 4 individuals as suspects. They could have done the crime. In 4 suspects, I am one of them. Correct. Okay, so let me just write the 4 suspects here. One is me, but still they have not identified who is exactly the criminal or who did this crime. Let me write the second person, Srishant. Okay, so Srishant is also now a suspect along with me. One more fellow is Saksha. Okay, let me just put one more fellow, that is Veman. So 4 suspects. Now they have to identify out of 4 who is exactly the criminal, who killed that person. Okay, now they have, as I said, they don't know who is exactly the criminal. Okay, they collected the blood from the crime spot and then they extracted the cells. Okay, and now they isolate the DNA from the blood, and now let us assume that they now selected 3 chromosomes. Let me just write 3 chromosomes. Obviously we know that when I have to draw the chromosome, so now this box can be compared to 1 chromosome. This is actually the chromosome, that is also chromosome number 7. So it is understood that this is homologous chromosome. So chromosome number 7 contains 2 chromosomes, both are homologous. Okay. So let me just write this chromosome is given by my father, or It is also called as the paternal chromosome. Obviously, hope you understood. Like we have pair of chromosomes, like 23 pairs of chromosomes. That means like now, for example, if you take chromosome number 1, there are two chromosomes, like homologous pairs will be there. That means one chromosome is given by your father, other chromosome is given by your mother. You know, during the formation of the zygote, the sperm contains only haploid set of chromosome, ovum contains haploid set of chromosome. So they now come into the cell, single cell, that is zygote. So in chromosome number 7, you see maternal chromosome as well as paternal, maternal chromosome, paternal chromosome. So this is now maternal chromosome. Yes? Okay. Fine. Now what I am going to do is, let me just draw one more box here, that is another chromosome. Okay. So like this, and let us say this is now chromosome number 2. Okay, they selected one more chromosome, that is chromosome number 2, homologous chromosome. This is now paternal chromosome, this is now the maternal chromosome, that is chromosome number 2, homologous chromosomes. One more chromosome. Okay, they selected one more chromosome, they considered one more chromosome, that is 7 to, let us take chromosome number 16. Okay, so simply write chromosome number 16. Again, it also contains pair, that is homologous pair. One is paternal, given by the father, the other one is given by the mother, that is maternal. Okay. Now, I said the VNTR or it could be SSR, normally varies from individual to individual. So, it is also applicable to both the chromosomes, that is homologous, genetically, morphologically exactly same, the two chromosomes. But the VNTR or maybe like SSR varies because it is given by my father. So let me just consider one sequence. Okay, so let me just consider GATA sequence, which is nothing but a type of microsatellite or SSR, where if only 4 nucleotide repeats. Okay, so let me just put in the chromosome number 7 given by, that is paternal chromosome. Let me just put 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Say this is not nitrogenous bases, please understand. This is not exactly the DNA, it is chromosome. And I am just shading, that is compartments could be seen. How many compartments are there? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 compartments are there. That means how many repeats are there? 6 GATA repeats are there. So you see 6 microsatellites. Okay, 6 GATAs repeats are there. And this is actually the pair of this chromosome, that is maternal chromosome, that is present in the body of me. Okay, so that is, let me just write 3, 4. Chromosome number 7 contains 2 chromosomes, both are homologous, genetically morphologically same. But when you take these GATA sequences or like the repeats, it varies between the same homologous chromosome. Paternal chromosome contains 6, whereas the maternal chromosome contains 4 GATA sequences. Okay, so this is the thing. Hope you understood why. The thing is, individuals are different. Got it? Okay. And these 2 chromosomes are given by different individuals, that is father and mother. But it is in my body now. Okay. Now again in this case, chromosome number 2, let me just consider 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8. So 8, we will put one more, 9. So how many are there? 9 are there. So 9. So 9 GATA sequences are there. That is 9 SSRs are there in this case. In the chromosome number 2, that is given by the father. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in this case, 6 GATAs are there. Are you getting my point? Hope you are getting or understanding this. It's very easy. In the case of chromosome number 16, okay, so we will put 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we just put 4 GAT. Okay, we will make it 5. So it will be different. Okay, in this case, 5 GAT. In 6, 5. Here, 9, 6. Okay, we will make it 7 now. I think. Okay, so we'll make it 7. And in this case, 4 is not there anywhere else. Okay, 4 GAT. And in this case, let me write 2 boxes. That is 2 GAT. In the chromosome number 16 given by the mother, that is maternal chromosome, has 2 GAT sequences, repeats. That is chromosome number 16, the same. That is paternal chromosome, which is having 4 GAT. Okay. Now I employ certain procedures. That is nothing but DNA fingerprinting. There are so many steps. You will understand it later. Okay. Now I am going to get a pattern. This pattern will be developed on a gel plate. Okay, gel plate. Now here, how many tandem repeats are there? That is BNTRs are there, or like tandem repeats? 4. But in this case 2, and in this case 7, in this case 9, in this case 4, in this case 6. Okay, even though chromosome number say 7 contains homologous chromosome, but still these two chromosomes are a bit different because based on the number of tandem repeats, because it is these two chromosomes are given by different individuals. Okay, but still it is there in my body. Okay, so this is now gel plate. Gel plate. What I am going to do is, okay, so let me just write the tandem repeats. 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like this, the tandem repeats. So it is understood that in the chromosome number 16, that is in the maternal chromosome, how many tandem repeats are there? 2 are there. Okay. Now, what I am going to do is, let me just use a different color. This chromosome, when it is actually, transferred to the agarose gel plate, you will understand how exactly. That is called as blotting, southern blotting. Okay, southern blotting. So in this case, let me just write pull this and write. You are going to get a band here. So you are going to get a band. But remember that on the agarose gel, this is the gel plate. Okay, or nitrocellulose plate. You will understand it later. This is now very less number of tandem repeats present on or in the chromosome number 16, that is in the specifically in the maternal chromosome, very less number. In this case it is bit more. Okay, so here 4. Where exactly 4 is there? Okay, here 4 is there. So you are going to get a band compared to this band. See, this band is bit lighter in color. This is bit thicker because it has got only 2 tandem repeats of GATA. In this case, it has got 4 tandem repeats of GATA. So it should be thicker. Dark. This is lighter. You may not observe it on the plate, but you can observe it. Okay, now let us take chromosome number, 2. How many tandem repeats are there? 7. So I have to write here 7. It is bit thicker or darker than this. Yes, okay, 7. And in this case 9. 9 is bit thicker. Yes, it's going to develop on the plate later. And this is 4 now. Okay, so I think to understand that, let me just increase the number, make it 10. So understand that in chromosome number 7, in the maternal chromosome we have 10 tandem repeats. Okay, we increase it to 12. Hope you can understand it. Okay, we will increase it, so it will be easy. Now what I am going to do is, okay, so in this case 10 tandem repeats are there, so I am going to get a band here which is bit thicker. So compared to this, that means the thickness is increasing as we move from 1 to 11. It is so that the thickness is also based on the how many repeats are there in that particular chromosome or DNA. So in this case maximum, that is 12. So 12 is here, maximum 12. I am going to get a very thick band. This is DNA fingerprinting. Got it? So this is now DNA fingerprinting. Hope you understood it. Okay. So thickness of the band mainly depends on the number of tandem repeats a chromosome contains. Hope you are getting my point. So that means if you see in the I am going to post one picture of real DNA fingerprinting. If you see darker bands, that is nothing but these are nothing but GATA. How many GATAs are there? 12 GATAs are there. That is tandem repeats are 12. So that means more the tandem repeats, the thickness of the band will be more. It is darker. So lesser the tandem repeats, obviously it will be very lighter. So this is my DNA fingerprinting because they collected it from from the crime spot, that is from the blood. So this is now DNA fingerprinting done. So this is now ready. Now what they are going to do is, now they are going to take my blood, Srishant's blood, Sakshat's blood and Veman's blood, because we are all the suspects. Now what they are going to do is, they are going to do the same procedure. Chromosome, they are going to consider my chromosome number 7, then Srishant chromosome number 7, Sakshat 7, Veman 7. That means 7, 2 and 16. So they are going to consider 3 chromosomes here. Srishant is also same. Yes, because it's very easy, because they have completed the fingerprinting of the blood which is collected in the crime spot, considering 7, 2 and 16 chromosomes. So they need to consider the same type of chromosome, same chromosome. Okay, now let me just draw a big plate, agarogel plate, and in this case Arun. Okay. Okay, this is me, Arun. That is, they are doing the DNA fingerprinting, and let me just give the Srishant. Okay, so let me just divide it now. Srishant. Okay, 1, 3, 6 are there. 3, 6 are there. Okay, because 6 chromosomes total. 6 chromosomes in the sense including homologous pairs. Okay, next is Saksha. Okay, let me use a different color here. Okay, so this is Saksha. Next is Veman, one more suspect. Okay, that means it is understood that in his chromosome number 2, that is in his maternal chromosome, in the chromosome number 2, he has got more tandem repeats, that is GATA repeats, so we got very thick band here itself. Next is, okay, 1, 3, okay, like this. Now, match it. So, I am going to divide it. So, we have got 4 DNA fingerprints. Arun, Srishant, Sakshat, Veman. We have 4 suspects. Now they have already done the fingerprinting of DNA which is collected in the crime spot, that is particularly from the blood. Okay. Now they are going to match. Now match it. See. This is matching. Whereas, see, it is not matching. The band pattern is not matching. Srishant is not matching, so he is not a criminal. So, next, Saksha, he is not a criminal because it is not matching. And then, Veman is not a criminal. That's what? Because it's not matching. Who is the criminal? I am the criminal. That's it. So, this is DNA fingerprinting. Now, let me tell you the procedure of DNA fingerprinting.